it seems to be 0.26%. 1/4 of the people who get the disease will die. That's 8 to 15 times lower than the estimates. Data from the U.S. Center of the Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, suggests that the novel coronavirus true fatality rate in the U.S., which takes into account mild and asymptomatic cases, stands at 0.26%, about 8 to 15 times lower than the earlier mortality rate estimates of between 2 to 4%, which prompted the lockdowns. However, the true or infection mortality rate is more than double the flu's 0.1%. Okay. Let's just say, for sake of argument, that's true. Now, they keep lowering it, right? If we would take into consideration what we've talked about here, remember the governor of Colorado, bless his heart, he's a Democrat, but at least he's intellectually honest enough to say, look, about 1/4 of reported cases in our state aren't cases at all. That is not what took the lives of the people. So if we look at the total number of people who have died, and we start saying, all right, let's say if Colorado's a fair example, which it probably is, because as we've heard over and over again on the death certificate, as one doctor said who's been doing this for 30 years, said really only God knows what the person died of. But is the COVID-19 the main is it mainly responsible for it, or did the person die with COVID-19? I was doing a couple weeks ago this Zoom conference with one of the churches locally, and someone shared with them that one of the local hospitals, they talked about this young man that died of Chinese Communist Party coronavirus. It, even hits the young. And the person knew people inside the hospital, and they admitted, well, actually, the guy died of a heroin overdose. But because he had the symptoms of COVID-19, they chalked it up to that. And so there's a lot of this going on. The two Bakersfield doctors, the ER doctors, God bless them, to their credit, they came out when it wasn't politically correct and said, look, we've got the figures now. The final rate in California will be something like 0.03%. In other words, negligible, about the same as the ordinary flu. When you take away all these so-called deaths that were said the Communist Party, Chinese Communist Party coronavirus was responsible for, when it wasn't not. People may have got the virus, they may have tested positive for us, but that's not what killed them. They were dying anyway. They were on their way out. So anyway, the estimates, though, keep going down, down, and down. I think at the end of the day, when we get some objective data, and we'll never know precisely because, again, the death certificates, many times it's guessing. You have to sign, what did this person die of? And they have, they have all these pre-existing issues there. It could be the heart failure, it could be diabetes, hypertension. These are some of the things that are there, pulmonary issues that the people that die are having. And so it's going to be interesting to see where we're at in the ballpark at the end of the day. But we don't know, but we'll keep an eye on that. All right, the nursing